What's going on over here?
Hi.
What are you doing?
I don't know. You like the new position for the toilet?
It might get in the way, and I might have to route new plumbing.
But look at this view.
I know, right?
Right?
All right, so what are we doing for reals?
Well, we're replacing the toilet because it started leaking inside the flapper, I guess, wasn't closing, and
The flapper valve, the flush.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you flush it, the water comes in. That was not turning off.
So it just started out as like a slow drip that we were able to kind of just pop the pedal just a little bit, and it would stop. Well, the other day. Oh, wait, let's back up. So we were at the National Rally, and...
No, we weren't at the National Rally. We were at the Tennessee Rally.
Yeah. Sorry. Tennessee Rally. And we had gone to dinner, and I came back, lifted the toilet seat, sit down, and I'm like, woo! Because I sat down in a bowl full of water. Thank God it was fresh water.
I had just been in there before you, and then you went in behind me. That's how that went. That's why the thing was full, because I had just used it and that valve did not shut.
Ah, gotcha. So anyway, so we knew we had a problem since then. We're like, well, let's go ahead and wait a little bit. It's manageable. And so the other day, I go to the bathroom, and then he goes to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden our leak sensor goes off, which, here's a plug, if you don't have leak sensors, get them.
Especially under your toilet.
Yes. And so we immediately run in, and the water is just pouring out of the bowl. I mean, it had kind of stopped at that point because our system is set up, the leak is sensed, then the water valve shuts off, but we could no longer just pop the foot pedal anymore because it was like full flush.
Right, so we had, this is some version of the Thetford toilet right there, and this is the Dometic
410. A lot of people, I guess, have the 310, which they're no longer making. So this is the 410.
The one with the round bowl, not the elongated bowl. The elongated bowl was more expensive, and I couldn't find one. So,
but the big things. Oh, it still kind of has stupid. We might have to replace the toilet seat.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, it's got the 360-degree flush, which, if you know anything about the Thetfords, the flush is only back here in the
hopefully
back.
That's not a used toilet.
Right, now that I'm like touching it, yeah.
So we're gonna get this thing swapped out. I think we got everything we need. We've got some plastic wrap here. That's gonna go over the hole in the floor once I get this new toilet pulled up until we're ready to put the new one on, because whew, it's gonna stink. I did flush the tank yesterday, and I was gonna flush it again today, but we're in a bit of limp mode where we're at right now.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, so we lost power briefly this morning. It wasn't very long, but then we lost power again at about 11
Just
o'clock
before 11, yep.
today. That's because some dude crashed into a power pole, and that's going to take a while to fix.
Yeah.
Luckily, we've got the EcoFlow set up, so we still have air conditioner, but it's been several hours now.
Yeah, it's 2:30 now.
So we've been running on these things for about 2.5 hours now. I cut us back down to one AC unit because I think that's going to be a long repair out there. But we're also on a well pump here, so...
Which means we have no water.
Right, so I can't flush that tank one more last time before I replace this toilet. And I want to get the toilet replaced because we've been living like the freaking Clampets in here, where every time we go to the bathroom we have to pour water in, do our business, flush, pour more water in there, flush again, and it's just a pain in the neck.
And then to make the whole power situation, water situation worse, so I wasn't even thinking this morning.
Yeah.
I knew the power was out, but I still had water. So I'm like, okay, I'll get in, I'll take a shower. And today, I'm going to wash my hair. So I get the full head shampoo in there. I've got shampoo on my face, so I can't open my eyes. And the water goes out because the water...
Bladder. Yeah, the water bladder bled down, and she ran out of pressure, so no more water.
Yeah, so I had to sit here for about half an hour with my hair wrapped up in a towel, still with shampoo in it, so my hair should be nice and clean.
Well, we did have water in the freshwater tank, a little bit. She didn't know that at the time, but we did have a little water in the tank. But that doesn't help me flush out our black tank. So we're going to do this, and hopefully it's not going to be super stinky. So we recently stopped using completely any tank chemicals. And if you've watched our videos in the past, you know that I have used them on and off only when we get free stuff. I was using it, because it's really not necessary. But recently we got our tanks cleaned by some friends of ours, and he relayed a story about a customer where he did a tank cleaning on, and they were using liquefied, and their tank was basically sludge.
After 6 months.
After 6 months of use, because it was a brand new rig, right? It was a brand new rig. So after 6 months of use, it was just basically sludge in the bottom of their tank. And I'd heard that before, that this stuff, it breaks everything down, but then it just turns it into this sludge that sits in the bottom.
Like pancake batter.
Right, in the bottom of the tank, which is why you really, really have to use a lot of water, especially if you're using those tank chemicals. So anyway, we've recently stopped using them altogether because I don't want to deal with that. We get our tanks cleaned once a year, so everything combined means we really don't need those chemicals. But I did put a little bit in there today. Hopefully, maybe it'll tame that smell that's going to come out of that hole. So anyway, I think we got all that we need. We got the plastic, we got all of our cleaning gear here. We've got some rubber gloves, the few stuff that came with the toilet, the instruction manual, which is useless because it doesn't say anything about installing these things, but it's pretty easy. We're going to pull that toilet off of there. There's going to be a seal underneath of it, obviously, between the toilet and the floor. We're going to pull that, clean it up, and then we're basically just going to put it right back.
But first things first, you need to go down to the mailbox and get our shutoff valve.
Oh, that's right. I have a shutoff valve that we're going to install on this thing. Shoot, that's right. I got to run like 1.5 miles down the road to the mailbox because our friends live in the middle of nowhere.
And you can check on the progress of the power pole.
We'll do that too. We'll drive down and see if we can figure out what's going on with the power pole. I'll be back. Okay, now we got everything we need. So, like I said, I'm going to put the shutoff valve back there. I don't know why these rigs don't come with shutoff valves behind the toilet. Probably because they're just too cheap to spend the $3 on one of these. Anyway, bonus is we got power back. So now we have 3 ACs running in here. It's nice and cool. So again, we're just going to pull the old one off, bolt the toilet down, and that should be it. This should be fairly simple, but you know how that goes, especially in RVs. Now that the toilet's off, let's get we can get this valve installed. And we had to totally disconnect the plumbing to the toilet since the toilet wouldn't stop flushing. We had to have some way to stop it from flushing. So anyway, we turned the water off and disconnected the plumbing from the back. You can see right down here. And I had to buy one of these plugs that screws in there, and we basically just capped it off so that we could still use the water in the rest of the rig. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take that plug off of there. And I've already turned the water off to the rig, and we'll drain that line, and then we'll cut that hose and get that valve installed. Okay, so after looking at this up close a little bit, we're actually not going to be able to get the shutoff valve in the bathroom. And the reason for that is because this connection to the toilet is too low. So what we've got here is we just don't have enough length here, because this thing can only stick up about that high, and I don't feel like cutting into that, because if I make a mistake, then I don't have enough to pull up through to correct my mistake. So there's just not enough room in this line to put this valve. So what we're going to do, because we have water sensors that go underneath the toilet, and then if the toilet leaks, those water sensors are connected to our Amazon smart speaker. I'm not going to say her name, but it's connected there. And then we have a remote controlled water valve that's paired with that Amazon smart speaker as well. So basically, if the water sensor detects a leak, it shoots a signal to the smart speaker. That smart speaker then shoots a signal over to the smart water valve, and it shuts water off to the rig. And that'll all happen faster than we can get behind the toilet and turn that valve off if we need to. Same way, if we come in here and we just see that it's leaking all over the place, it's easier for us to just tell our smart speaker to turn off the water than it is to reach back there and do that valve. It's probably faster to do it that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip the valve in here for now, and we will install it down in the basement instead, because down there I'll have plenty of room to work, And that'll really just be a backup for the next time that our toilet completely fails and we have to isolate the toilet so that we can use water in the rest of the rig. So we're just gonna put this new toilet in place, and for now we're gonna call it a day until we have some cooler weather when I can get down there in the basement to install that shutoff valve. So that's what we're gonna do, and we should have this wrapped up here in just a matter of a couple minutes. All right, here's the test. We got to turn the water on now. Hopefully no leaks behind the toilet and no leaks from under the toilet. Hopefully. And hopefully the toilet works properly. So
Yes.
Let's turn the water on.
Okay. Alexa, turn on the water.
Okay. No leaks from behind the toilet. Not yet anyway. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, you want to do the honors here?
Do I get to do the honors?
Yep. Let's pull the lid up so we can see the 360 flush.
There we go. All right, ready?
It's trying. We have really bad water pressure here. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good, though.
Look at that.
Okay, now let's look and make sure there's no leakages coming out. I'm sure there's not, but... So there you have it. If you got to replace the toilet in your RV, it's a pretty simple thing to do. It's literally 2 bolts. Pull the toilet off, get the old gasket off, put the new toilet in place, bolt it back in, and that's it. Now, if you want a shutoff valve, apparently that's a little bit different. But we'll get that taken care of on a different day. But at least now we're not like the Clampetts.
Yes.
And feeling like we have like an outhouse. I felt like I was back in elementary because we had neighbors who had a farmhouse, and one of their toilets didn't have a water supply to it, I guess, or something. I don't remember, but we always had to get a bucket of water to flush the toilet in there. So that's what I felt like I was going back to. But easy job, and I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Well, it's got to go back. So here's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is the new toilet that we just installed yesterday, and then we promptly swapped it back out at about 1 o'clock in the morning, she's telling me, because I went in to go to the bathroom, and when I flushed, about 2 seconds after I flushed, I had a water sensor alarm going off in the basement. So, long story short, luckily it was not dirty water. Luckily it was the clean water coming in. This thing's got a leak somewhere inside that developed, I guess, as soon as I hit the pedal yesterday, because we didn't have any issues the rest of the day yesterday.
No, but I am starting to see a trend here, because the initial time when I got my butt wet, he had used the bathroom. When our bathroom flooded the other day, it was after he went in there.
Yeah.
And then middle of the night last night. So
yeah, well,
you just need to start going outside.
Maybe. Take some toilet paper with me outside too. But, so anyway, yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning last night. We didn't get any of that on video because it would have been more bleeps than anything in the audio.
Yeah.
I was not a happy camper at all. So we're gonna have to send this thing back. Man, it's really disappointing, because now we gotta live like the Clampetts again for who knows how long.
But at least we have a working toilet.
Well, yeah, I put the old one back in. We do have a working toilet. It just doesn't have any water going to it because we can't hook up the water to it. So we're still having to flush manually.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll keep you updated on the toilet drama as we go along. But we're gonna have to order a new one. And so here's how we know it's not, that water's not coming from the poop chute here, if you will. We actually ran this outside with my external water pump, and we put some water in here. And then when we turn this, and then when we lifted this thing up, you can see these small holes right here, not down there where the screws are, but these small holes here, we had a bunch of water coming out of there. So there are a couple of reasons why we know that it wasn't dirty water coming out of there. So number one, when I cleaned out the basement last night, it didn't smell bad. All of the water was perfectly clear. And then that whole area outside of that poop chute was just soaking wet. And then again this morning when we were testing it, we noticed the water coming out of those holes. So that tells me that there's something going on inside with the valve itself that's spraying water somewhere where it shouldn't. So anyway, we'll get a new toilet and keep you up to date on how the toilet drama's going.
One eternity later.
So we got the new toilet, but why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how we were being dumb about this for several days.
Yeah, so for the last, I don't know how long, we have been flushing using a jug of water. But Jeremy remembered that the handheld sprayer from the shower actually reaches all the way over. Whoa! Look at that.
Yeah, so it made it easier, but
The
still...
only negative, and I don't know if Jeremy realized that's what this is, but this washcloth is to wipe off the little drips.
No, I was just using toilet paper
But
to wipe off all the drips from the floor and everything.
I had been doing that, but that's a waste of toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I got this, which is kind of a cleaning rag. So, yeah.
So it only took us like a week to figure out, the easiest way to do all of this. But we got the new toilet, so we're going to give this another try. So hopefully no problems with this one.
I suggested running water through it before we install it.
It would take me longer to get the pump out and get everything set up than it would be to just go in there and do it.
Okay, I'm going to remind you of that. If the water sensor goes off at 1 a.m. again.
Well, if that happens, we are quitting the RV life and buying a house. Oh, look at that. We didn't even spill anything.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, so now, let me take these off. I think I'm done touching gross stuff. Well, let's get these.
Okay.
No, those are still clean.
Whoop!
Okay,
Hit your elbow.
yeah.
Let me kiss it.
Okay, so I'm done touching gross stuff.
Okay.
All right, third time's a charm? Well, I guess it's really the second time. Third time swapping toilets. But, so we're gonna test it.
Yep.
All right, so when you're ready,
Okay.
in there, you tell
Her.
Alexa to turn the water on.
Okay.
You check for leaks inside. I'll
Okay.
check for leaks down there. And
You want me to
if I start screaming like a little girl, tell her to turn off the
Tell her to
water.
turn off. Okay. You want me to like give it a good flush?
Yeah, so once we verify there's no leaking initially, then
Okay.
then we'll give it a good flush. Make sure no leaking there,
Okay.
and then hopefully that's it.
Okay.
All right. So I will bang on the ceiling or on the floor when I'm
Okay.
ready. All right, so there's where our toilet comes down. This is where we had the leaking the other night, so hopefully we get no more leaking.
Alexa, turn on the water.
All right, well, I heard the water turn on. Nothing yet. All right, I'm gonna put this camera down for a second because I gotta get a closer look. Okay, we've got a successful flush. And we actually noticed the difference between this toilet and the other new one that we had to return. So let me get out of here and I will go up and show you what we noticed that was different between these two toilets. Okay, so here's where the difference is. So here's the inside of this toilet. And you can see how that black ring right there is pretty much centered. I'm looking kind of straight down on the toilet. Well, in the one that we had to return, the one that failed on us, that seal was like shifted this way. So it was kind of a oblong looking thing in there. And I just assumed that it was supposed to be that way. But I don't think it is. So I think that was the issue. So I think because this one looks right, this one looks like I'm used to seeing. So hopefully no more water alarms in the middle of the night. We'll see. Guess what I just did? I used the bathroom and I didn't have to use the shower nozzle.
It's the little things in life that make us happy.
Yep.